Welcome to today's edition of 3 Minutes of Halacha. Today I want to just discuss the topic of whether or not women are obligated in Sefirat HaOmer. The Gemara in Kiddushin rules in a number of places that women are exempted from all mitzvot taseh shazman grama, from the time-bound mitzvot. Seemingly, Sefirat HaOmer should be included in that concept of time-bound because it is specifically between Pesach and Shavuot, and ideally at night. The Rambam rules that women are exempted from counting Sefirat HaOmer. Fascinatingly, however, the Ramban disagrees. And when he gives a list in Kiddushin of different mitzvot that women are obligated to perform, he includes Sefirat HaOmer on that list. Rav Soloveitchik, is quoted in the Nefesh Harav, was so shocked by this statement of the Ramban because he couldn't understand how it's possible not to think that Sefirat HaOmer is time-bound, suggested that it must actually be a ta'ut sofer, a scribal error. So how is it possible that Sefirat HaOmer is not time-bound? One fact we have to consider is whether or not Sefirat HaOmer has to be counted at night, which is obviously a small unit of time. There is a three-way machloket on this among the Rishonim. The Rambam says the entire day is possible. The Rabbeinu Tam says that one should count only at night, not allowed to even count without a bracha during the day, whereas the Rav Yah and the Mordechai and the Rosh, as quoted in the Torah Shulchan Aruch, say at night you count with a bracha. During the day it's more of a b'di'evet, because if they didn't bring the barley at night, they're allowed to still bring it during the day, b'di'evet, de facto, and as a result, we have the practice that if you forgot at night, you can still count during the day. So it still remains that while night is the ideal time, maybe it's an entire day. Rabbi Yerucham Fishel Perlam, in his commentary to Reb Saadia Gaon's list of the Taryag mitzvot, says that actually, when it comes to mitzvot aseh shazman grama, it's only when a mitzvah is specifically determined by the time. But Sefirat HaOmer is not really determined by the time, but rather it's determined when you bring the korban from Pesach, and also when you bring the korban of the Shnei Alechem. It's not really time as opposed to being fit between two korbanot. Rabbi Yechiel Yaakov Weinberg suggested another explanation. He said that time really doesn't obligate the mitzvah, but it is the mitzvah itself, and therefore it may not be a mitzvah taseh shazman grama, and women should be obligated. Nevertheless, the Magen Avram writes that while women are exempted from Sefirat HaOmer, it's a very traditional custom that women should count. The Mishnah Berurah disagrees and actually discourages women from counting Sefirat HaOmer. However, the Aruch HaShulchan says that the custom is nowadays that women should count Sefirat HaOmer, even though they're not obligated, and Ashkenazi women, as is true in other mitzvot taseh shazman grama, are allowed to make the bracha. So the bottom line is that it may not be a mitzvah taseh shazman grama, as the Ramban suggests, but even if it is a very common custom among women to count Sefirat HaOmer, and they can make a bracha when they say it at night.